Hi there guys, this is Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the second part of tips and tricks on Lenovo K4 Note. So guys, just in case if you have not looked the first part, I'll leave a link for that in the right corner of the screen and just click that and you'll be able to access the first part. And I'll also leave a link in the description area just in case if you don't see that link. So guys, just a quick roundup. This is the fingerprint scanner and you can unlock the device using this fingerprint scanner, and you have the double tap to wake feature. And as you have seen, it doesn't work really well. Next we have the status bar over here, and these are your toggles. We have covered the white touch and the Dolby sound, and we have something called as notification logs, which simply records all your notifications. And coming to the gestures, we have already seen the double tap to wake. Next we have something called as quick snap. Simply double click the volume button to take a picture. And when the device is unlocked, simply flip it to lock it. Even when the camera is on, you can simply place your finger on the fingerprint scanner to take pictures. So it is that simple. You have other fingerprint gestures, like whenever you are in some app and if you want to go to home, just place your hand or just place your finger on the fingerprint reader and it will take you to the home. You can long press the fingerprint scanner to open multitasking window or the recent apps panel. So these are the things that we have covered already in the first part, and if you want to know anything more, just watch that video. So guys, in this part we are going to cover a lot of features that are available in the settings page. So starting off with the wireless LAN, if we go to advanced, you have the option to change the sleep policies. So just select this option and you can choose if you want to turn on Wi-Fi always or never, or do a smart switch. And next we have this option for wireless LAN frequency band. So there are basically two frequencies for Wi-Fi, 5 GHz and 2.4. 2.4 is used a lot, and make sure you just change this setting. 2.4 GHz is the most widely used band. So instead of switching between 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz, just simply use this option. And by the way, most of the routers have very limited range for 5 GHz band. Next, if we go to the mobile networks, we can choose a default network type for SIM1. So SIM1 has a wide range of options from 2G to all the way to 4G, whereas SIM2 only has one option, that is by default GSM, that is 2G. Next, if we go to the data usage, we can check the data usage and even restrict it. Just go to restrict background data. Next we have the options for NFC. We can simply enable or disable the NFC from here. And when we enable NFC, we get this nice notification in the status bar. Next, if we go to the notifications tag, we can create them from here, which is something nice, which is really missing in other Android devices. Next, if we go to more, we can choose the default SMS application. By the way guys, by default it is set to Hangouts or messaging, and just in case if you're not receiving any messages, change it to your default SMS application. Next we have something called as ringtone and volumes. From here you can access the Dolby Atmos settings. So you can change the default mode. You can choose between movie, music, game, voice, or you can have your own custom values. Next we have something called as pocket mode, which prevents calls when the device is in our pocket. Next we have these options to change the ringtones for SIM1 and SIM2 and the message tones for SIM1 and SIM2, and change the default notification tone from here. Next we have display options. From here we have something called as display color balance. So you can basically change the temperature of the screen from here. At night I would suggest you to use comfort mode. I would have really appreciated it if it had a notification toggle. So anyway, next we have something called as smart brightness, which will increase the brightness of your display in direct sunlight. Just enable this option to use that feature. Next we have font size. We can change your font from here. Next we have something called as high sensitivity touch, just in case if you are using your phone using a glove. Next, if you go to lock screen, we can set the default lock screen. By default it is set to swipe. And if you want to use your fingerprint to unlock your device, you need to either set it to pattern, pin or password. Let me just set it to pin. You need to confirm the pin once again, and you need to choose if you want to hide or show all the notifications. Let me choose show all. And now let me just lock the device, and to unlock it you need to enter the pin. Over here you have something called as keypad shuffle. If you enable that, this lock screen keypad will be shuffled every time you try to unlock it. Next we have something called as smart lock. You need to enter your PIN to access this area. So you can basically unlock your device automatically using these features. You have something called as on-body detection. So if you enable this option, as long as you have unlocked your device holding on your body, it will not ask you for the password once again. So let me just show you that. So I have enabled it now. Let me lock the device, try to unlock it, and it didn't ask me for the password now. So that's something nice that you should use. Next we have something called as trusted face. You can use this feature to unlock your device using your face. This isn't really accurate and you need to be having good lighting conditions, and your phone should be at a 1 feet distance from your face. And if it identifies your face, it will unlock the device. Next we have something called as trusted places. So you can basically add a place as your trusted place, say your home, and whenever you're at your home, it will not ask you for a password. And once you move away from this location, it will again ask you for the password. Next we have lock screen themes over here. These are the same things that you can access from the themes app. And next we have something called as automatic lock. So whenever the display turns off now, it will wait for 5 seconds to lock the device. Next we have something called as power button instantly locks. If this option is enabled, whenever I press the power button, it will lock the device. So if I try to unlock it, it will ask me for the password. As you can see, the number pad is again shuffled. Now let me just disable this option. And when I press the power button, the display is just turned off. And when I press it once again, it didn't ask me for the lock screen password. So make sure you enable that option. So if we go to features again, we have quick snap to take pictures using the volume buttons. We have knock to light to unlock the device, or to wake up the device using double tap to wake. Next we have white touch, which is just like a floating bubble like in iPhones. Next we have flip to sleep. So this is what it does. When you flip the screen, it will lock the device. Next we have fingerprint gestures. So tap the fingerprint screen. So tap the fingerprint once to go to home screen. Press and hold it to open the recent panel, and you can also use the fingerprint to take pictures. And finally we have the VR mode switch. So just enable this option to see this shortcut in the power menu. So if I disable this option, I won't be able to see that option in the power menu. Next, if you go to the call settings, I can choose to automatically record all voice calls from here. And next I can choose to end calls using the power button using this particular toggle or checkbox. And we also have some other additional options like smart answer and smart switch. So do check them out. Next we have something called as powered shutdown. So if I enable this option, my device will automatically turn on every day at 7 AM. Because next we have something called as SIM card management or SIM management. From here we can enable or disable SIM cards. We can choose the default SIM for voice calls and messaging, and also data connection. So as you can see, it is set to always ask. Whenever I make a call, it will simply ask which SIM to use to make that call. So if I set it to Airtel 1, it will directly make all the voice calls using that particular SIM. So if we go use the default app dialer, we have individual options to make a call from SIM 1 or SIM 2. But if we use a third party app to make calls like this, we don't have the option to choose the SIM 1 or SIM 2. So in these situations, the SIM management will be really handy. Next we have something called as permission controls, which is very similar to privacy guard in Cyanogen mod. So we can basically see the list of permissions, and if we select any permission, we can see which apps have access to that particular permission. So from here you can basically allow or deny permissions for any particular application, just like that. If you swipe right, you have the apps list, and you can basically select any application and deny or grant permissions to it. So I don't want Facebook to turning on my Wi-Fi, so I'll deny the permission for that. And I don't want it to access my location, so I'll deny that too. So it's something really nice, and Android has included in Android Marshmallow. It's a really handy feature, and Android has included it in the Android version 6.0. But Lenovo has added this feature in Lollipop itself. Next we have something called as secure zone management. You just add few zones like home, office, office 2, and whenever you're in that zone, you will basically lock some applications using some specific password. So you might be wondering how your phone knows where you are. It'll use your Wi-Fi or location based information to figure out in which zone you are in. Next, if we go to security, we have something called as screen pinning. So let's enable that. And if you open the recent panel, from now on you'll be able to see this pin. So if you're giving your phone to someone to make a call, just go to recent panel and pin the particular application, and now they won't be able to get out of this app without your permission. So to unpin this particular application, you need to press and hold the back button and it will be unpinned. So you might be wondering, anybody can do that. So we have this additional option that says ask for PIN before unpinning. So if your device is already locked, just enable that. So whenever someone tries to unpin an app, it'll ask them for the password. And next, if we go to the fingerprint, we have the option to unlock the device using the fingerprint. Just enable that toggle, and at a maximum you can save only 2 fingerprints. So if you want to add a new one, you have to remove the existing one. So to remove this particular fingerprint one, just press this 3 dots and select delete, and now you'll be able to add new fingerprint. So there you have it. And if you go to about phone, device information, and click the build number 7 times, you will enable the developer options. So these are the developer options. And if you want to root your device, you need to first unlock it or unlock the bootloader. And to unlock the bootloader, you need to enable this option. And to enable USB debugging, you need to enable this particular toggle. And we have something called as show touches. So if you want to see where you are touching the screen, you need to enable this option, and now you can see a small bubble following my finger. So there you have it. And finally, if you want to take a screenshot, you have the toggle for that over here. Just do that, and you can take a screenshot of the full screen, or else you can crop the part of the screen. Just like that. And if you want to take screenshots using these buttons, you need to press volume down and power button both at the same time to take a screenshot. And if you want to enable OK Google feature from any page or any screen, just open the Google app, go to menu, settings, and now select voice, and now select OK Google detection, and enable this toggle, and you need to say OK Google 3 times after you press this button. So then you'll be able to access the Google app from any page. And guys, we have this app called as Light Flow. If you want to have access to the LED notification over here, so let's say if you get a message on WhatsApp, you want the LED to glow in green color, you need to use this particular app to configure that. So it is very simple. You just click the plus button over here and select the application. Let's say, okay, I don't have WhatsApp in this device. So let's select WeChat. And now for WeChat, I'll get a green LED notification. So guys, this is how you uninstall multiple apps at once. So just go to settings. Once you are in settings, select apps. These are all your downloaded apps. To delete any of these apps, simply check these boxes. And then you have the option to uninstall them. Just click this button and press OK. Now these 3 applications will be deleted without any need of you pressing any button. So that's something you need to have root permissions to do on other devices, but on this Lenovo device you can do it very easily. So there you have it guys, these are the tips and tricks and complete features of Lenovo K4 Note. So if you have any doubts, do let me know by commenting below this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel to see more videos just like this.